Welcome to the DK Podcast Show. This is the D,
Yep, that's me.
Dustin. I'm the K, Kelton. And today, I think we're going to talk about some interesting people we've met and just some like coincidental stories.
So you're going to talk
Is
about
that
me
right?
all day.
No.
You just want to talk
No.
about just meeting me for the very first time.
They've already know that story,
Yeah.
so no.
Whenever you no, what? That's not the first time you ever met me. That's just the first time we actually hung out.
The first time I ever met you was at a pool party that I showed up here. That
He came to my house and drank alcohol.
out of the Yeti,
Yes,
sitting in a chair. It was a good time.
Had the football team over.
I
and-
had a driver, so I had a
Well,
driver.
by God, I'd hope so.
They didn't know that. They probably did. Oh well.
Yeah. So we have a lot of parties over here.
Yeah,
Have a lot of
amount.
good times.
That's the only football party I think y'all ever threw, wasn't it?
No, we've done some other. You just weren't invited.
Yeah.
We only invited the starters.
This
So,
man.
so have you ever partied with any famous people?
Have I ever partied with any famous people?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I realized, but that could have been because I was very intoxicated whenever. I
Well,
was
you're also a
partying.
little bit young, so
That is true. Also true. Are you familiar with Bobby Cox,
yes, the Braves
ex-manager?
It's not
Or-
former.
Yeah, former. He retired. Me and my dad went out to Atlanta one game, and I can't even remember who they were playing. I was real young, and my dad went down to the bar to get him a drink or two, and we look over and there's like this red, like like the robe, like the thick rope that they have around, like maybe like if you're getting into a movie, like around like the important people.
Yeah.
So like I look over and my dad's like, "You know who that is?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "That's Bobby Cox." And I was like, "No." Like it was crazy for me. And I had like earlier when I went to the game, because you know how they play like multiple games that week.
Yep.
Well, like I went to multiple of the games. Well, the first game, I don't know his last name, but his name was Terry, the first base coach.
Pendleton.
Yeah, he threw me a ball that they were like practicing with, and I had that ball on me, and I went over there to the Red Robe, and his security was over there, and then Bobby Cox said, let him by," like pointing at me. Went over there and I met him, and he signed the baseball for me, and I would say I still have the baseball, but I think it honestly got stolen out of the trailer whenever we were moving into the house we're in now, unfortunately. But yeah, that's probably the most mad I've ever been is whenever I realized my baseball was gone.
Oh, not the baseball.
Oh yeah.
So so in college I partied with Kirk Bush. He got in trouble. He was like arrested for DUI, like and reckless driving or something like that. And
The reckless driving I
he
could get.
he got off. He also got a ticket right about the same time, I think, for driving that Lexus sports car, like supercar, like flying down the highway on 77. So me and a couple buddies, we were at Bar Charlotte, and if you don't know anything about Bar Charlotte, like it's crazy. Like there were women that were pretty much just willing to give themselves away. You could deflower a girl anywhere you felt like around there. And we were sitting there getting some drinks, and there's this like weird, awkwardly dude just sitting in the corner drinking Miller Lights by himself. And me and another one of my roommates decided we'd go over there and talk to this guy because we knew who it was. Because
No, you felt bad for him.
I did feel bad for him.
at
He's
first.
like literally sitting by himself drinking beers, like moping. And so by the middle of the night, we ended up in the DJ booth with him, and he's buying drinks and everything else.
You're
And
getting turned.
yes, and so we partied pretty hard, and a buddy of mine went with him to a speakeasy after it closed, like at 2:00 in the
What's
morning.
a speakeasy?
Speakeasy's an illegal bar.
Illegal bar?
An illegal bar, like in somebody's house or in like a business. Speakeasy is from like back in the Prohibition days.
So it's just like a little.
It's something you don't talk about it, so you speak easy
Then
about
why
it.
are you talking about it on here?
Because I'm not telling you where it was at. So it's probably not there anymore because that was 15 years ago. But the crappy part about it was Some of us decided not to go because there was a girl. I don't know if it was his girlfriend or what, because he wasn't married at the time. He threw her in the damn car and was like, "Get in here, just go," and just sort of hit her,
Damn.
didn't beat the snot out of her. But then now he just they filed for a divorce, him and his wife, and she didn't say why, but it was like that he was like a crazy dude. And I'm thinking, I saw that one.
Like just recently they divorced?
She just recently filed. It was a couple month and a half ago that she filed for divorce and was like not going to say what happened, but it was like irreconcilable differences because he's pretty much psychotic.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, party with him. I also, this is a rough story. This guy's not famous, but his product is actually pretty famous. I met the guy from a mutual friend who made the turbo oven for Subway. They created that big oven that you put it in there and it nukes your toaster. It's called a turbo oven.
I've always wanted one of those in my kitchen.
Yes, well they're really expensive, and he owns the patent off of it and has a sponsorship deal with all Subways. Has got to pick up a turbo oven.
So he's breaking down some bread.
Oh, dude! So the way I met him was we were at the Mayweather Pacquiao fight in Vegas.
Oh, the big fight.
Yes, the big fight. And a buddy of mine's like, "Hey, you want to go to a pool party over at Mandalay Bay?" And I was like, "Do I? Yes, I do." And so me and him went, left the women and children in the hotel room, and the other drunk roommate we had from the night before. He couldn't get up and move. And so we went and drank on this dude's dime. And
on his what?
On his money. Like it was an open bar for us, but
he didn't care.
He did not care. He had a cabana. I know you've never been to Vegas, but a regular cabana runs probably about $1,000 for a Wednesday. On Saturday for the Mayweather Pacquiao, you're dropping $10,000 just to get the spot, not including your booze. His bill is probably at least $20,000. So I almost got thrown out that day because they had a private pool for us, but it overlooked. So it was like a see-through glass wall underwater, but it overlooked. Cool. So if we're up here, the walkway was right here for all the people. Well, I was doing belly flops into our pool because that's just sort of how I roll.
You and belly flops?
Yes, and I almost got thrown out of the swimming pool by security for getting people wet at a swimming pool.
That's insane.
Yes, so it was a good time. But I'm still friends with some people that I met up there from the Boston area. They had their own cabana and stuff like that, and so we got to hang out.
People you meet in Vegas.
It was the worst Vegas hangover I've ever had, including the first episode that we had off of this.
Yeah, beats on the plane.
Oh, yes. It was terrible. And I had my kids with me when they were little. Like 2 and 1 kind of thing. So I was an irresponsible parent, and my friends had to take care of it. But it was free booze, so I was like just pounding Jaeger bombs and everything else that I could get my hands on that day. So it was a rough day.
Speaking of Vegas, I was watching this show last night. It was Unsolved. It's about the Tupac and Biggie.
Biggie, yeah.
And you know how yesterday I was like, well, where are y'all staying at in Vegas? You know, at the MGM.
Yeah.
Well, like one of the scenes, it was at the MGM.
Yeah, it's shot, or they started the fight right inside of there.
Yeah, and that's
somebody just got shot out of the valet desk last week at there
at the MGM.
Yes. So I told Bonnie, I said, I am excited to go back out there because it's going to be the most security that they ever have. So we're going on the 31st. It is going to be exciting. We're just me and her is going for a couple of days.
That'll be fun.
On the way to Denver.
Well, I'm watching
the kids and loading them up to take them to Danny's wedding.
And taking them to the beach.
Yes, we are letting Kelton drive my kids all the way to the beach. Pray for them.
No, it's all right. They got a little chauffeur. We'll hit the McDonald's on the way out.
No food in my car. They know the rules.
I'm gonna make him go in. It's all
Yeah.
right.
So, you know, have you ever met any famous people and they're just so down to earth, like just cool dudes, like you wouldn't even
Yeah.
know they're famous?
You ever heard of Braden Price?
No.
So Braden Price is like he recently just came up on YouTube, and he does like a bunch of stuff like hunting and like four wheelers and dirt bikes and stuff like riding. Well, one night my brother, we're in North Carolina, right, and they're racing in Virginia, and like so it was probably about like a 3 hour drive to get to where we had to go because he was at this race. So my brother, like 2 hours into the race, is like, "Come on, let's go. We're going right now. We're going to see him." I'm like, "All right, whatever." So we get up there, drive the whole way up there. Those four of us, and we're only at the race for like probably 30 minutes. But we drove all the way up there to see this guy. We get to talking to him. Probably coolest guy I've ever met. Like you wouldn't even think he would made any money off of YouTube, and he's driving a $80,000 truck up here. Like he was just cool as hell. Like.
The, most people put people on a platform or pedestal when they meet them, and it's really not that way for a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
So I've met a lot of the Panther players at like their like charity events and stuff like that, and most of them are pretty down to earth.
Yeah.
We went to one time, and Bonnie was pregnant, and they tried to jump in line in front of her, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, big fella! Like you gonna get in front of a pregnant lady? Y'all all wrong. Y'all need to let her be your fullback. Let her take you to the promised land." So, but we had a good time cutting up and picking with a couple
With the
of
Panther players.
Yes, I met Miss America one time. Speaking of
hot?
a Panther, was she hot? So we went to, it was called the Taste of the NFL. It was out in San Francisco, and they had free booze, and that's always a problem with me. I don't know if you can tell that's a reoccurring statement. If it's free, it's for me. I ended up trying to buy 2 Super Bowl tickets at the auction, and yeah, I didn't get them. Thank God, because I would have kicked myself in the ass the next morning.
How much were they?
I'm
up
not
to?
I'm not even going to go that route. And so, but we had a good time, and Miss America, the guy who won the tickets, gave them to Miss America, and then she wanted to sell them back to us.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes, and then we're gonna get money back to charity. So, and that's whenever the Panthers got the shit beat out
demolished.
of them. Jericho Cotchery still caught that ball. I don't care who you are. So, but yeah, I've got some friends that are pretty close with a lot of Panther people, and whenever you hang out with them, they're pretty cool dudes. They're not all of them. Some of them are just massive human beings. Like
Yeah.
Julius Peppers couldn't fit in a freaking elevator by himself, pretty much. But
See, like I've been to maybe like 2 Panther games my whole life.
yeah,
Like so, like I never really like. I probably the only player from I could tell you Luke Kuechly, and Cam Newton.
he calls himself a football player. Cam Newton's a big joker too. I've sat around.
Scam Newton.
Yeah, nah, he's alright.
Is he as bad as like they portray him to be in like?
No, it's everything's not as bad as what people make it out to be, and everything's not as good.
I mean that's true.
The only person that I've met that I really did not appreciate their time around was Denny Hamlin.
You couldn't stand him.
He just was complaining we were playing basketball and he was complaining. That's probably why I didn't get to go back, but whatever. I don't care that much. I got a basketball goal at my
Dustin
house.
got in an argument with Danny Hamlin.
No, I didn't argue nothing. So it wasn't even with me. I just watched him bitch and moan about losing a recreational basketball game. So, but yeah, it was a good time. Just in general, I enjoy meeting people that like just hanging out, treating them like they're normal people.
Oh yeah.
So
One time, this was my second or third year going to Beach Week. So like we were like I didn't really have a certain place to stay. So like we were
seems like after going 15 times, you'd have a special spot to stay.
Nah, we house hopped this year. We took it the more fun route. But so we're staying with these people, and so like there's a house right in front of them, and like that's where he was letting us park our cars there, and I get to talking to him, and like he's a cool guy. Like you can tell, like nobody probably really like talks to him like that. Like he ain't really talked to nobody. Like me and him talked, and it turns out this guy was like really big into the NASCAR industry. He knew like Richard Childress, all them, and whenever I told him where I was from, he knew exactly. He knew exactly because in the race world,
Yeah.
if y'all didn't know, Welcome is like up there on like the race world map.
Yeah, we're like the mecca
Yeah.
for certain fans at least. If you're
Oh, yeah.
a Dale Earnhardt fan from back in the day, you know everything about Welcome.
And gave me his card, and his name was Bill, and he was basically just like, if you get in any trouble, just give me a call, and I'll help you out. But yeah, he was a pretty cool guy. Got to know him pretty good.
If you could hang out with any famous person, who would it be?
With any famous person?
Yeah. Like, who do you think like would be cool to hang out with? Other than me every day.
Man, I really don't even know.
Come on, you got to have something.
Not really. Like, I think I'd rather just.
No, there's got to be somebody that you. Come on, give me somebody. Like anybody that you could hang out with for the day.
For the day?
Yeah, just shoot the shit. Like you ain't got to go do like just somebody you think is cool.
I don't know, maybe like Conor McGregor or something. Like Conor McGregor would
Conor
be a crazy
McGregor
fool.
would probably be.
He'd be a funny guy.
Yeah, my kids like to run around upstairs and walk with their arms like he does and everything. I can't do that crap. But
Or like, I don't know, Nelk Boys.
who?
You've never heard of the Nelk Boys?
No,
So like they're basically like viral all across the world just for
they're not viral at my household.
just for getting hammered and partying. Look them up. I'm serious.
See, I don't-
and they have they have like the number 1 or number 2 podcast in the world.
See, I don't care about like meeting somebody to go party. Like I'm not.
I don't
Dan
either.
Bilzerian, like I don't.
I just want to talk to them.
So
Dan Bilzerian,
yeah. No, I said like I couldn't do that kind of stuff.
that guy's crazy.
I'd like to hang out with Burt Kreischer.
Burt
Yeah.
Reynolds.
Yes, him too.
Yeah, I'd like to.
So
hang out with Burt
yeah,
Reynolds.
because I think that me and him got sort
Or
of
Hank
sound like
Williams Jr.
No,
Hank Williams Jr. would be a cool
No.
ass guy to hang
Burt
out with.
Kreischer and I have a lot of the same kind of thought processes, and we're both married men with wives that are saints, and I think that it would we would have a good time together.
Good old double date action.
Oh, yes, because his wife is like mine. They just put up with our crap and just like, what are you doing? Yes, that kind of thing. So that would be one of my people that I would say I would like to go hang out with. But yeah,
Have you ever had any like weird like coincidental? How do you say that?
coincidence.
Yeah, coincidence. Like stories, or like it was just kind of like odd. It just was odd to you how it worked out.
For
Like-
what, meeting people?
Yeah, just like
I've already told the story about meeting Trevor Lawrence. That was pretty crazy, but seeing him when we're just walking through the hotel. But you know, most people, I don't even think twice. Like if I'm not the type. I'm not gonna fanboy and ask for autographs and stuff like that.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not either, but like
No, I'm just saying a lot of people are, so they'll just go weird. But no, not.
have I told you about the coincidence at the beach?
No.
So I went to the beach over the 4th. Me and a couple of us wanted to go play putt-putt. Well, the line was long, and I was like, well, I need my cooler. So hop the fence, and I'm like, go up to these guys. I'm like, hey, can y'all give me a ride back to my house? It's about a mile away. I need to grab my cooler. You can bring me back. He was like, yeah, that's fine. So I hop in the truck with these like 4 random guys. I don't recommend doing that. I just do it because it's me.
What'd you pay him with?
Nothing.
Sure.
I didn't. Don't let him.
Sure.
Don't let him bullshit you like this. But so I'm going, and we get at the house, and he's like, dude. We pull up to the house we're staying in. He's like, dude. It's like my grandma owns this house. I didn't pay no mind. I jumped out the truck and went up there and got my cooler, and I look on the sign, and I read the name, And I got back in the truck. He's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Read the exact same name that was on the sign. And I'm like, well, that's some crazy stuff, especially since, like, I'm getting into real estate. So I was like, so I'm sure y'all got a bunch of rentals on the island, or do y'all do anything with real estate? And he's actually like, yes, my grandma owns the biggest firm on the island.
That's always fun.
So I got his number and
Yeah, so he made you a
Snapchat.
good contact with a
Yeah.
high-profile realtor.
I did indeed.
And that's what the business is all about, making connections, man.
Oh yeah, it was interesting. I could not believe it for about 3 next days that I met the grandson of who was renting us our own house.
Yes, that is pretty coincidental. So, yeah, but I don't have any fun stories like that one. Well, I think that's all we got for you today. If you want to hang out with us, if we're the person that you want to hang out with, let us know where we're going to go.
Face
and
back
what we're
there
gonna do.
shaking her head.
Yes, she wants to hang out with us right now. That's why we got to stop this podcast.
Yeah.
So let us know where we're going to go and how many drinks you're going to provide for me. Not for Kelton because he's not 21.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I don't do that.
we'll see you next time.
Y'all have a good day.